G.I. Joe, issue number 2. That's right, folks. The team behind the Duke book. Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley. They're back to give us a big, bad, beautiful G.I. Joe book that, I don't know if it's like the most interesting G.I. Joe's been in a while, but I don't consume this media that much. I've said it before. My baseline for G.I. Joe stuff is the toys and like the recent toys. I'm not an 80s kid. I didn't grow up in the 80s. This was never a line aimed for my generation. As I've gotten older, I've appreciated it more. But it's never been like my cup of tea. Yo, Joe. I like him a lot. I like colorful characters, and I do occasionally enjoy military propaganda. The type of military propaganda I enjoy is colorful characters with distinctive code names who aren't real military. They're just silly. And that's what this book is. I also like an underdog story. And I like when our main characters are so easily wiped out by their bad guy that it feels like any small victory is a win. That's what Daniel Warren Johnson's Transformers has been. That's what this book feels like. Rock and Roll died. He's dead. We killed him in the first issue. Everyone's freaking out now because he's dead. Most of this book is just losing. We're all kind of losing. Duke steals a helicopter to help the people trying to save Rock and Roll, and then they shoot him down, and Clutch is almost like killed in an explosion. It's going bad. Duke like leaps in the air, tries to like take out like the head of like the Cobra like soldiers that are trying to attack them. We then see a hologram of the whole fight on Cobra Commander's wrist, and he's like walking in front of like the Bat Army, and Destro's like, we gotta get that. If we don't get like that source of energon, whatever that power is that you're so desperately needing, we can't keep doing this. Like, this whole thing is mute. Like, we're done. We can't do it. He's like, don't worry. The cavalry's on the way to end this mission. So we see some boots walking towards them, about to, like, kill everybody. Duke beats up, like, the main soldier who's commanding everybody and realizes who's underneath the mask. Spoiler alert, you should know by now, it's Destro's right-hand man. We saw him appear in the Duke book. His name is escaping me, but this is a guy we have seen before. Don't be alarmed. Suddenly, a bunch of like female Cobra infantry show up, and they got like special guns to like kill the wounded, like their own soldiers too. They're called Valkyries. And this dude's like, yeah, they like lead the wounded on the battlefield to Valhalla. And he's like, what's going on? This is crazy. Stalker is pinned down. He's going to get shot. Luckily, Baroness comes in and saves him before he's killed. CoverGirl retrieves him. Everything's going bad. Clutch steals like one of like the guns that has the energon powers to shoot down the Cobra soldiers. But then as soon as he does that, Cobra Commander's like, okay, well, now our technology's in the hands of the enemy. Activate self-destruct. So literally all of the weapons are thrown down and they're about to blow up. They explode. Cobra gets away with the piece of energon, leaving the Joes defeated. Literally, it's so quick, which is insane. And that's what this entire Energon universe has been for all of these characters. It's just, we're losing a fight so bad, we're retreating to the next one. That's what Transformers was. That's what this book's becoming. So in that, you can feel the continuity. But it's like Duke pulling himself up from the rubble, seeing the helicopter coming to save him. And then we get like a mission statement about how bad things went with Hawk later. He's like, Rock and Roll died. He was killed in battle. Stalker is in surgery. He is lucky to be alive. CoverGirl's covered in burns, like deforming the body of a beautiful woman, whatever you want to say there. Clutch is missing. We're going to presume he's dead. We don't know what happened to him. The two of you, Duke and Baroness, you're lucky to be alive. It's amazing you two survived and got us this far. Duke's pissed off, which a Duke should be. He's like, that's stupid. That's Destro's guy. Mars Industries, he's part of this. They're working for Cobra. Something's going on here, Colonel. We got to get to the bottom of it. And it's Baroness who's like, we don't want to just go out for revenge. He's like, it's too late. We have nothing left. I'm not going to sit here and let this happen. That's when our mysterious figure that we saw in the first issue shows up. The man in the suit. Duke's like, who's this guy? I don't need this shit from this stranger. And we realize that this is Guerrera La Casa, codename Risk. Ex-CIA doing something big and scary. Like, I'm not too familiar with the codename Risk, but hey, here's a new guy who has some tension with Baroness already because they're rich kids who both wound up in a weird world. Duke's like, this is dumb. You hired a new guy to be on the team without asking me? I don't like that shit. I don't like what you're doing here. And Duke just instantly wails on this guy because he's like, we're getting off onto the wrong foot here, okay? Like, losing's not easy, and I know heavy metal was like one hell of a story. He's like, 'cause it was rock and roll, and just punches Risk in the head. Duke's ready to fight this guy, and they're going to fight each other, which is just like the great contrast between the two sides of this battle. Duke is ready to beat up this man he's never met before, who's supposedly an ally. And then we cut to Cobra. They won, and Cobra Crown is like, this is great. This technology is so great. Everything we can do is depending on this. It's a great weapon, and we possess it. I love it. And he has like a flashback to when he had like Megatron. He's like, this is from a time before our time together. It's amazing. I needed this power. We got it. We also have like a brainwave scanner being built from Archibald Monev. It's great. We're literally doing some incredible stuff. And we see one of like the Cobra infantry unloading all of the stuff, walk away. He's like the center focus. He like slips down a hallway, takes off the helmet, and we see underneath the helmet is Clutch. Of course it's Clutch. We're not going to kill Clutch. He was a crucial part of the Duke book, and he hasn't built the vamp yet. He'll die when we build the vamp. You know, like that's what we're doing here. So he's doing a Star Wars, which is surprisingly what this book feels a lot like. Big laser guns, and the Rebel Alliance is building itself up to defeat the Empire. A weird guy in a shiny mask. That's what this book feels like. I'm for that. It's fun. Man, it's so much fun. It looks cool, well executed. Dang, it's interesting. Tom Riley's artwork just works so well for this, like, style of, like, classic old school action-y, gun-toting lunatics with big pouches and craziness. Old school army stuff. It's really fun. And we're just building up like the underdogs for the G.I. Joe. That's always a cool thing to do with your heroes. That's what we're seeing here. I really dig it. Fun book. I'm glad we're getting something from G.I. Joe. It's so basic, but I do like the design for like the Valkyries, the Cobra Valkyries. Maybe I'm just a sucker for a classic design of some hips and boobs on it. I don't know, but it's awesome. Where's that classified figure? So, G.I. Joe issue number 2, I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.